checking to see if that's working. Can you hear me now? Somebody give me a thumbs up or a heart or something if you can hear me. In the meantime, I'm going to say hi Linda, hi Karen, hi Ali, hi Shona. And cross my fingers that you can hear me now. Yay! Yay, good. Okay, thank goodness. Right, so all I was saying was I was going to do the new kits tonight because we have 2 new kits and I have them sitting in that box over there. But I put it to the people and the people have voted and you want to see this technique. So that's what I'm going to try. Now, I will be very honest, I do not have the leaves stamps and dies that were used in that post from the artisan. So instead, I'm going to be trying this technique with, let's flip round, the Decorative Trees bundle, because I thought this technique will still work really well with this. And because some of it included embossing, I have also grabbed, did I grab it? No, I didn't. The plaid embossing folder. Get that. There we go. So that's what we're going to do this technique with, rather than the leaves. And I think it'll still work because I think the gold and actually the silver would work really, really well with the trees. So let's give it a try. I'm going to start off with the stamp. So there is 2 different parts to this technique that they did. So first of all, it was stamping an image and then going over it with the metallic effects and the brushes. So that's what we're going to try. I'm going to get a piece of just standard basic white. And because we're going to die cut this anyway, I don't need it to be massive. Let's just get the die. Hey Jean, glad you're here. Ooh, lights. That's what we need. It's winter. It's dark now. We need lights to make it bright so that people can see what's going on. Right. So these are, yeah, 2.5. That should do it. Let's cut a piece that's 2.5. And let's stamp this. So I'm going to use the gold and the copper first. So I'm going to do the stamping first of all in early espresso. Oops, move that out of the way. Let's have one there like that. Always clean your stamps as you go. Not just because it's good for your stamps, but because it reduces the chances of you accidentally dropping them on a completed project. Ask me how I know. Okay, now we're going to do the blending before we die cut, because it will be easier. So let's just give this a try. So I've got my metallic enamel effects. I'm going to shake it. I don't know if you're meant to shake it. Doesn't seem to have made any difference. So let's put, yeah, I'm getting like this white. There we go. Let's just put a little of them on there. And now let's brush it over. There we go. I could probably have got away with using less. But it turns my card almost like it's now gold card. That's quite cool actually. See that? See, I'm going to try and tilt it so can you see the shimmer? I mean, I don't know if it's coming across obvious, but it's a beautiful shimmer on that. Lovely. Right, let's do the other one in copper. Although it does look as if... No, she hasn't. I was thinking, has she done multicolours on the same thing? But not on this first one. Let's just use a bit of copper. So again, when you first do it, you get a little bit of almost like a whitish liquid coming out. So I want to keep going until I actually get to the pearls bits. I think this is just because they're new bottles. And then let's just wipe that on. There we go. Probably again used more than I needed to. This is one of those techniques where a little goes a really long way. Kind of brushing them all the way down so that it's almost like branches. I was worried that there would be streaks, but actually there's not. Let me see what the bronze one looks like. Again, it's got a beautiful shimmer to it. Don't know if that's coming across well. Cool. Do you know what? Let's just do another one in silver and then we can put the three of them on a card together. But for the silver, do you know, I was going to say I'll stamp it in a different colour, but actually I'm not. I'm going to stick with the early espresso. I think this is just quite a cool way of getting different colours onto your stamping. So let's try this. Haha. Now I think the silver is the one that I have used before, which is maybe why it was so difficult to get the lid off. I must have got some of it on where it shouldn't have been. Right, let's just put a very small amount. Now this is quite interesting. The silver hasn't worked quite so well. Maybe it's because I was moving with some of that, or it's probably because I didn't let the ink dry enough. But this one has smeared quite a lot. Do you see that? So that is brown more than it is silver. Do you know what I'm going to try? Let's put some more silver on my brush. Now it's interesting because it hasn't picked up the colour. It only moved the colour around before. So this is actually a really good way of getting shimmery card. Jean, I know this was something you were asking about the other day, but just using a blending brush and the silver effect. I have to say it's not going on hard silver, so it's not like a grey silver. It is much more of a shimmer. Put a little bit more on just to make sure I get all of these bits down at the bottom. This would actually work really well with the icicles, the frozen edges bundle. Right. Again, there's slight streaks in it, which I might try and buff out with the brush, but I don't know if you can see the shimmer on there. There's a very fine shimmer, but that's interesting because while that's definitely gold and that's definitely copper, I wouldn't call that silver. I would say that that's much more shimmer than silver. Right, let's stamp the tree over the top and see how that works. Okay, alright, so good news. The stamping goes over the top of it nice and easily. So that's fine. Maybe I just needed to be patient and let it dry a little longer, because it's weird to me that the silver one would cause streaks but that the gold and the copper wouldn't. So I suspect the main difference was because I didn't let them dry long enough. So hey, that's a lesson learned. Let's cut these ones out and then we'll try it with the embossing folder. Okay. So where are my dies? These dies and I did pull out the die, there it is. These dies and stamps have been getting a real workout over the last few weeks because I've been designing all the projects, not all the projects, designing some of the projects for the Christmas Crafters Retreat, which is happening this weekend. Very exciting. Jen has been producing some of the projects and I have been producing some of the projects, and we are really, really excited to share them with you and to craft with you. It's going to be a fabulous weekend. I hope you guys are looking forward to it as much as we are. It's always nice when we get to this stage where everything is done and all we need to worry about is the little extras. And we do want you guys to have a fabulous time. We want you to feel really special and really, really enjoy this retreat. So, right. That's the copper one cut out. Now let's cut out the gold one. One thing that's interesting is that the metallics on the paper makes it sticky is the wrong word, but it does give it a little bit of texture, which means the stamps, the dies, which normally I would put on and then just move around without any issue, they don't glide as much as they normally do, just because of the metallic effect. Look at that, that's really pretty. I like that. The metallics effect on the paper, it just has removed some of that slidiness from the card, which can be a good thing. You're really excited as well, Linda. Good. It'll be great to see you, to craft with you. At the end of the day, that's what I enjoy the most. It's just getting together and crafting with other people. It's absolutely the best. Ah, now you see again, I should have left this to dry because the metallic effects have made the paper a little bit almost glossy, and so my early espresso has smudged slightly in the center. Can you see that? It's maybe only my perfectionism that's annoying me, but I think when this card gets put together, the silver one will be hiding at the back and these ones will be more over the front. Right, I'm gonna get a bit of early espresso. Right, I am going to finish off this card. I was going to do an early espresso card blank, but actually I'm changing my mind. I'm going to do a thick basic white card blank. Store that. Where's my bone folder? I have so many bone folders in that bag. I never seem to reach the one I want when I need it. Then we're going to get an early espresso layer. So the card blank C6 is 14.8 by, and then you score it 10.5. This I'm doing 14.3 by 10 centimeters to give me the layer that just goes on the top like that. And so at first I thought, would I just put them straight onto the early espresso? That's one option, but let me get some more basic white. Are the metallic effects water-based? Very good question, Karen. It's not telling me on that bottle. Let's see what it says on here. Use care when applying your stamped images. Ink may smear if it comes in contact with metallic enamel effects basics. Doesn't say whether it's water-based or not. I suspect it probably is. But I will check online and see what I can find for you, because there should be some sort of information. Right. Let's do a basic white layer to go over the top. So 13.8 by 9.5. So that's one option. So basic white, card blank, early espresso, and then the trees. Or we stick another layer on there and then put the trees on. Before you decide, there was another part to this technique. Let's just do this just now. I'm going to get a 1-inch strip. Now from this bit of the technique, it wasn't clear whether she got a strip and put the metallic effects on it, or whether she did metallic effects over a whole area and then trimmed it afterwards. But we're going to give this a try and do a metallic strip. Do you know what? I'm going to try something different here. Let's put the metallics effects straight onto the paper and then blend it. See if that makes any difference. I think it's slightly darker, although I'm on my second layer already here. Let's try this again. They are very sticky, because this stuff, I mean, it's almost like glue. I'm finding I'm getting little specks of fluff that are sticking to it, possibly from my brush. Let's use a trusty pokey tool just to lift off that bit, but then I think it needs more ink as a result. I think if I was going to need a gold strip, I would just use gold foil, because the metallic effects stuff looks nice, but I think you could just I think you could get, I mean, it does give you a different effect, but we've got brushed gold foil as well as the standard gold foil. This, because then I was thinking we could put that along the bottom here. I suppose one thing it did look as if they had done on part of this technique was to mix the colours, and that would be something that you wouldn't really be able to do with the gold foil. Let's put some splodges of this round. Okay, so you see again, getting hairs on things, which when you lift them up kind of smudges it. Okay, I like the multicoloured effect, but I think that would be more effective if I did like a whole layer of it and then die cut out from the multicoloured. You like them on the early espresso with gold or silver embossed greeting. Nice idea, Linda. Hey Helen, glad you're here. Yeah, I like your idea, Linda. So if we take them off the, see again, I need to be careful because they are quite sticky and they do take a little while to dry. So I'm just going to be careful of putting my card blank on there. Let's get rid of the the basic white layer and put them on there like so. And then a gold embossed greeting along the bottom, I think would be really pretty. I was thinking about gold ribbon or gold bling. We've got some really nice bling. Let me just have another wee look at the technique to see what they had suggested. Ah, that's the other thing I was going to try, guys. Let's try it with the embossing folder. Okay, so if I cut another strip, this might look nice. Let's give it a try. So, I think in the technique, what had they done? Emboss first and then use the metallics. So let's try this and see what it looks like. So I need my, honestly, see this tartan embossing folder, the Forever Plaid. Is it plaid or plaid? I'm never too sure. Definitely better on dark card. Thanks, Margaret. Yeah, I think you are right. Hey, Julie, glad you're here. Shona, you're saying on dark card as well. Yeah, this is why you guys are so essential to the creative process. You make everything better. Yeah, this tartan folder, absolutely essential. I have used it on so many of my Christmas cards this year. It's perfect for when you just want a highlight of something. In fact, we might even do a full tartan background. Ooh, we could do, right, let's try something. I'm getting overly excited here. I've done a strip of basic white, but I'm also going to do a strip. Am I going to do a strip? I'm going to do the whole layer, and then if we want it as a layer, we can do it as a layer, and if we want it as a strip, we can then just trim a strip. So that is the same size as that. That's fine. Let's just quickly put this through the embossing folder as well. By the way, if you don't already have this embossing folder, what are you playing at? This is going to be one of your essentials. And remember, there's no guarantee that these things will carry over into the annual catalogue. So make sure you snap them up while you can. So if you're putting an order in for the seasonal sale, don't forget that that's going on at the moment. And you're stocking up on your inks and your cards and your DSP and all these other useful things, pick up this embossing folder if you haven't got it already. Right, let's try this. So I'm going to put the gold onto the basic white first. Let's see what that looks like. Again, it's very sticky to work with this stuff. It's getting all over my fingers. I'm going to be shimmery tonight. And again, just having a quick look at the post from the fabulous, let's check the lady's name, Narelle. Her stuff is gorgeous, it really is. But it does look as if she's used multicolours. So I think she's done the gold first and then gone over a bit with the copper. So let's try that. Again, just doing little highlight pieces here. It does look pretty. It really does. What do you think? So that could go nicely, maybe a thinner strip than that. So our early espresso background, and then our trees, and then that, and then the gold sentiment as well, like Linda suggested. So that is one option. The other option, so we've got our, this is our early espresso layer with the embossing, the plaid, Forever Plaid embossing folder. Let's see what this looks like with a touch of gold. Now this looks really special. Looks like one of these fancy chocolates that you get, where it's dark chocolate with like a hint of gold dusting on it. There was somebody selling some of these at the show, and they tasted amazing. And I bought several packets, but they're all gone now because the show was a while ago. She does have a website. I should maybe check that out. But this just looks like really expensive chocolate now. So while I think the metallics effect on the white, on basic white, absolutely look good. Doing it on the early espresso, I think also looks amazing. What do you guys think? Do you need a better look at it? Let me bring it up to the top. Have a look at that. The texture you get on that is really cool. So then the next question becomes, do we do it as just a strip along the bottom, or do we do it as the entire layer? Let's see, if we did it as the entire layer, go on like that, and then you would have your Christmas trees, and I think a punched out sentiment. It does look lovely on the darker card, doesn't it? Right, let's see what we could do sentiment wise. Where's my stamp set gone? Oh, got it. I've got it. You're gonna love this. Is it might be a little bit of a sneak peek for this weekend. You guys handle a tiny sneak peek? You promise not to tell anyone? It's not a massive sneak peek. Although the more I think about this, the more I think we should actually change the card I've done at the weekend and do this instead. Not the whole thing, just this particular part of it. So, right, let me just get set up. Let me get my heat gun. Right. Trees are lost on the gold background. Do you think this plain gold or with the gold in the early espresso? I think it looks nice. Want to give it a try. Want to see what it's like. Oh, busy looking for the stamp and it's literally right in front of me. So I want my gold embossing powder and use my embossing buddy before I get started. And my Versamark. Over my powder, tip it off into the tray. Very dark there, you can hardly see it. Let's get my brush. This, by the way, is our embossing essentials kit, where you get the embossing buddy and the tray and the brush and the tweezers, which you'll see me use momentarily. Yeah, my gold embossing powder, I'm like halfway down the tub. I used it extensively over the last few days with my Christmas cards. We're not heat embossing at the retreat, we've done that at the retreat before. Different things that we're showing you this time. See, this is why you guys need to come, because we don't just repeat the stuff we've done before, we do new stuff. Exciting new stuff. Where did that card go? Right. Let's heat this up. I love the magic of heat embossing. Let's see if I can do it really close to the camera. You ready? as if by magic. It appears. Lovely. Right. So now we're saying it looks better on the plain background. The background that I've just embossed on. Okay, alright. You know what, I do like to listen to your feedback. Let's have a look and see a couple of different ideas. Now, for this one, so the Very Merry Christmas, we're going to cut out the Christmas tree, but we're only going to cut out, I was only going to cut out the top bit. Might need, yeah, let's cut out that amount of it. And while we're at it, this has dried, so I'm going to cut out the star. Where's the dies from this set? Because there's a cute little star. Of course there's a star. It's Christmas trees, Emma. Of course there's going to be a star. Let's cut that out as well. Right. This round. I realise I did that off camera. You're just going to have to forgive me. Peeling this paper off of my clear blocks is interesting. And little bits of it came off as well, so that's something to be careful about. If you're going to do this as a strip, be very careful when you're embossing it, because you don't want it to rip. Let's poke it out, being very gently. I don't know what's happened to the other end of my pokey tool here. There we go. Let's take that off. And then this I'm going to trim down so we don't have the full size tree. We only have the baby tree, like that. And then that little star bit I did is going to stick on there. And then my idea was I was going to put that all on there with this one on the bottom, like that. Do you think that's too much? Do you think it needs the early espresso background? Let's cut another one just to see. Could cut some trees out of the gold one. That's absolutely a possibility. Does actually look nice though. But if you tell me it's too fussy, then it's too fussy. So what do we think? That, with the trees obviously positioned better, or that. See, I think that's too plain. And you lose this one a bit. Although I could edge oh, actually, here's an idea. I was going to say I could edge it in gold by doing Versamark around the edges and heat embossing it. But let's try edging it in gold using the metallic effects. After all, that is the technique that we are pioneering tonight. So. Remember to do this on camera so you can see. That's quite nice. So That's it, just with a tinge of gold round the edges. And then popping it on the plain background. Gold stars vanished again. That's the problem when you've got something that's so little and sticky. It keeps falling off. It keeps disappearing. Let's just stick it down. Problem solved. Right. So that's option one. Plain background. And then this is option two. Patterned background. They do both look nice. Is the pattern background too fussy? One more person comment. Whatever the next comment is, that's what we'll go with. Plain or patterned. Option one. I did say whatever the next comment was, Shona. I will go with that. Right. Let's stick this down. Here's my trusty Tombow. Julie's with me. She liked the pattern one. Everybody else has gone for the darker. Well, we do craft by committee on this channel quite a lot, so. What I would be interested in though, guys, is if you try this technique for yourself, using it, I think using it with different stamp sets and different dies would be really pretty. But I'd love to see it done on different backgrounds as well. So I know I've used the early espresso, which is quite a dark background, but it might be fun using it on, say, wild wheat, where you've got that almost gold tinge to it already. It could also be nice doing it on, cherry cobbler, getting that red gold effect. Or on pink, you could have like a rose gold effect if you used it on something like Pretty in Pink. Lots of different possibilities for this technique. But now that you've seen it, actually seen it in the flesh and seen it being done, the artisan's post absolutely was amazing. But is this the sort of thing that you would try? Would you try it yourself? Does it look nice, but does it look like too much of a faff? I don't think I'm too covered in gold by the end of it. And yes, I should probably have used larger dimensionals for these, but I can't. I was going to say I can't find them. They are over there. I can't reach them. There we go. That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. Oh, without the brown tree. I like the brown tree, Linda, and it does need the sentiment. And then we need some bling, don't we? We need a couple of gold bling dots round about it. So, what we need are gold adhesive backed, gold textured adhesive back dots. It's exactly what this project calls for. There. Let's put one down there. Let's put one there. And one there. There we go. There we go. A gold and early espresso. Very Merry Christmas to you. Let's cut a tree out of the gold and the early espresso background just to see what it's like. But I'm going to cut it out from the center because then I can cover this up and I can make another card with it. Although cutting something that you've already embossed... Oh yeah, no, it has still worked. I was worried that all the embossing would flatten, but it hasn't. It still stayed pretty embossed. And now I have my embossed Christmas tree. So let's use, where's the other half of my, that's not the other half of my thick whisper white. There's the other half of my thick whisper white. Right, here's how we finish this card off. Let's turn this into a card base really quickly. And let's cut another layer. So this is going to be a 13.8 by 9.5. No, it's not. We're going to cut it even smaller than that again. So 13.8. Let's do it. How big is this? Okay, I'm going to take 2.5 centimeters off the top and 2.5 centimeters off the side. I was trying to work out what the dimensions would be top and bottom, but actually it's much easier to do it like this. So let's stick that on there like that and put that over the top. Where'd my card base go? Anybody see where it went? Oh, I accidentally swallowed it. There it is. So, jumbo first. This is a great technique if you're ever using like really fancy embossing, really fancy designer series paper or gold foil or something like that. And now you're all going, Emma, you stick it on upside down. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, because that's going to go on over the top. Actually, before I put it on over the top, let's do the sentiment. You see, old Emma would have stuck it down and then gone, I should have done the sentiment first and been annoyed at myself. But new and organised Emma, don't tell my husband, he'll really laugh at that, remembered to do it. Why are you newly organised, Emma? Well, I was at backstage last week. We had a really, really good time at the Virtual Leaders Conference. And we have had some fabulous sessions. We had networking. We've had like video training that we can catch up whenever we want to. So I've been doing lots and lots of exciting video courses and learning from other Stampin' Up leaders, and it's fabulous. It's so much fun to get together and to share ideas and help and support each other. It's one of the things I really love about being a Stampin' Up demonstrator, is that we come together and support each other. Right, where are those dimensionals again? I really should have dug out the bigger ones. It'll be fine. Famous last words. So you think this one works, Linda? Having the gold and dark background with the white on top? Or were you saying the other one worked perfectly? I'm not sure. Put that on there. that's our second card. I like that. Again, it's got this luxurious chocolatey feel to it. The Christmas tree is raised up on dimensionals, but from above you can't actually tell. You could, you know, just cut a Christmas tree out of your basic white layer and have it as a whole, have it as an aperture. There we go. So those are our 2 cards that we've done tonight using the Decorative Trees bundle, using the Metallics effect technique as demonstrated by our awesome artisans. Yeah, and the Forever Played embossing folder, being the star of the show. What do you think? I was going to say, which one do you prefer? Do you prefer the 3 trees, or do you prefer the played Christmas trees? Let me know in the comments which you like. As always, if you've got any questions or anything that you want to ask, then please do let me know. For those of you who are coming at the weekend, I cannot wait. It's going to be amazing. You should have had the email with all the information that you need. And yeah, look forward to seeing you on Saturday, 10 AM. Take care, everyone. Good night.